is up, everybody? It's your girl Jada Reads here, back with another video, and today we have another reading vlog. But first, if this is your first time seeing my face or knowing of my existence, my name is Diamond and I go by Jada Reads on the internet. You can call me Diamond, you can call me Jada Reads, you can call me DJ, does not matter. On this channel, I like to do reading vlogs, book reviews, and everything in between. So if you like that type of content, or if you're interested in that type of content, maybe you should consider subscribing to my channel. We like to have fun over here. I do reading sprints. I communicate with you guys. And I just want to build a community. I just want to have friends. And that's why I'm here. So first up in this reading vlog, we're going to be reading this literary analysis. I called it a critique in my books that I'm going to be reading for Black History Month, but it's a literary analysis on the canon of work that is Alice Walker. This author, Miss Donna Hasty Witchell, decided to analyze a lot of her work. She mentions all of her work, which consists of, I think, 4 novels, 2 essay collections, and 4 poetry books, something like that. Do not quote me, please, but we will talk about it. I have started reading this, so let's talk about it. It almost serves as a reference for anyone who wants to know more about Alice Walker. For reference, I have read The Color Purple and I've read Everyday Use, which was published, I think, in 1973. It was originally in Harper's Bazaar magazine. I don't know all the specifics, so I'm quite familiar with Alice Walker. This was published in 1992, by the way. And yeah, so let's talk about the contents. So we have her preface, acknowledgments, and chronology. And then chapter 1 is survival, literary and literal survival. Chapter 2, survival whole, in search of our mother's garden. Chapter 3, boundaries of self in love and trouble. Chapter 4, the burden of responsibility, the flaw of unforgivingness. The third life of Grange Copeland. So as you can see, each chapter is arranged in a way that the author Donna is like dissecting Alice Walker's literary canon, basically, and she's giving insight into how each of the books or essay collections or poetry, it directly correlates between fiction and Alice Walker's real life, and how she has drawn completely on her everyday struggles with humanity in her writing. And when I tell you guys, I'm so glad I came across this and looked up on this. I love it. So let's look at chapter 1, because I feel like everybody don't have this book. Everybody do not have this book. And when I look on the internet, it's also very scarce. So this is something that's like fixated in like college libraries and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you can find one if you look closely, but I just feel so lucky to have came across this. So chapter 1 is on survival, literal and literary, and it opens with something that Alice Walker wrote in 1973. So I'm going to just read this paragraph, okay? In 1973, Alice Walker wrote, "Critics seem unusually ill-equipped to discuss and analyze the works of Black women intelligently. Generally, they do not even make the attempt. They prefer rather to talk about the lives of Black women writers, not about what they write." When she wrote those words, Walker was thinking primarily of Zora Neale Hurston's, one of the geniuses that America threw away in spite of the fact that Hurston's 1937 novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God, is, according to Walker and an increasing number of admirers, the healthiest expression of love between a Black man and a Black woman yet to come out of America. So, do you see what I have looked up on? I am so excited. This thing is it's small, but I think it's going to be very mighty. And it's almost like a cheat code, like a little cheat book into the life of Alice Walker. So I'm excited to be reading that. And it just looks like it seems like it's a lot of jewels and gems that are going to be thrown in throughout this book. The whole thing seems like a hidden gem to me. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to be reading this, and I'm going to be coming in and out talking about it. But we are also going to be reading one more book, which is going to be 7 Days in June. Hold on. Which is going to be a reread for me by Tia Williams. So those are the two that are going to be getting read in this vlog. I think it's good to do two, you know what I mean? Especially with it being a analysis and not like a plotty book of some sorts. I might not have much to talk about. I mean, I feel like I will, but you know, I still want to give you like some sort of like plot driven book of some sort. So here, 7 Days in June. For those of you who don't know, I'll read the synopsis for 7 Days in June. 7 Days in June is about Eva Mercy, who's a single mom and best-selling erotica writer who is feeling pressed from all sides. Shane Hall is a reclusive, enigmatic, award-winning novelist who, to everyone's surprise, shows up in New York. When Shane and Eva meet unexpectedly at a literary event, sparks fly, raising not only their buried traumas, but the eyebrows of the Black literati. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. What no one knows is that 15 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent one crazy torrid week madly in love. While they may be pretending not to know each other, they can't deny their chemistry or the fact that they've been secretly writing to each other in their books throughout the years. Over the next 7 days, amidst a steamy Brooklyn summer, Eva and Shane reconnect, but Eva's wary of the man who broke her heart and wants him out of the city so her life can return to normal. Before Shane disappears, though, she needs a few questions answered. With its keen observations of creative life in America today, as well as the joys and complications of being a mother and a daughter, 7 Days in June is a hilarious, romantic, and sexy as hell story of two writers discovering their second chance at love. So we have a second chance romance. So yeah, I liked this book a lot, but I'm eager to give it another shot because, like I said, I sped read it. For why, I don't know. I don't know why, and I don't know. I just feel like I missed something. So these are the two books that we're going to be reading over the course of just a couple of days. I don't think it's going to take me long. For reference, today is February 8th. Today is February 8th for reference. So I plan on at least finishing one of these within the next 2 days, and we'll go from there because this is all I'm doing. This and this and that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. So how is everybody doing? I hope you're all doing really, really well. I hope your reading is off to a wonderful start for this Black History Month and everything in between. What else have I been doing? I haven't been doing anything. I did my hair yesterday. It took about 4 hours. For reference, all of this is my real hair. This is a blowout, and after the blowout, I flat iron it a little bit once over, and then I roll my whole entire head with the green sponge rollers, and I sleep in it. Then I take it out, comb my hair out with a big brush, and this is the final product. So as with all things Black and beautiful, we have so many different facets. Intersectionality within my life is a real thing, and I do not subscribe to one particular label nor look. As you can tell, you guys gotten like 5 different thousand looks so far, and it's so many more to come. But that is the beauty that is Blackness, for sure. So other than that, I have just been trying to figure out life now that I'm no longer in education. If you hadn't watched my last vlog, I did resign from my job as a teacher, and I've decided to make it my life's mission to homeschool my daughter, so that I've been planning that, and so I'm going to actually give her our first full homeschool experience a little bit later, and I'll tell you guys how it goes and how things are going throughout this process. And I'm also trying to figure out, you know, what I want to do now. I mean, I know what I want to do now. Full-time, full throttle YouTube. I have 2 channels, if you have not heard me say. This channel, and then a commentary channel, which was a vlogging channel. Now it's turned commentary. So we have those things going on. And then, I don't know, other stuff that I have going on. I also have an eBay store, and I have a Poshmark, and I sell things that I love. Everything that I sell on my eBay store and my Poshmark store, I would wear those things myself. So I do resell, and so those are the things that I'm just like focusing in all of my time on, and honing my craft, and also keeping the reading alive. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna actually go forth now and finish editing a video that I have to have uploaded by tomorrow. So I'm done with the first round of edits on that, and now I'm gonna take it to this other editing software and add all of my bells and whistles, as we can say, to make it more attractive and appealing, and to keep that retention going. So that's what I have going on for today, and I'll definitely update you guys when I have something to say about both of the books that we are going to be reading on today. So yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for being here, and if you have not subscribed already, please do so, and I'll see you in the next clip. Good morning, everybody. It's another day for the reading vlog, where we are reading, of course, you know, 7 Days in June and a little bit of Alice Walker by Donna Hasty Witchell. And I just wanted to show you guys my little outfitty. It's a rainy day. It's a lot going on here. Hold on, let me turn this. Honestly, should I turn this light on? It's a rainy day here in Memphis, and I have to go and do a package order. For those of you who don't know, which none of you know because I have not stated, but I also am a reseller. I resell on eBay and I resell on Poshmark. So right now it's just clothes and shoes, but I'm thinking of expanding to all types of stuff. The weather did not permit, but I'll go tomorrow to, I go to estate sales, all type of thrift stores, Goodwill, flea market, all type of things, and I resell on those sites. But I'm really trying to go full throttle with it now since I've left my job as a teacher. So anyway, let's do a OOTD. This is a really nice linen cotton blend type of something that I actually thrifted. I love this shirt to death. Oop, let's see if we can do y'all see that? See if we can do a zoom on the collar. This is the brand. Great brand. Great. I love this shirt. I won't sell this shirt. So sometimes you come across some stuff that you just won't sell. Then I have these super old, super vintage camo pants. They have such a good fit on them. Like, they fit so nice, and they make the bun look so good, don't it? Don't the bun look good? And then I have on the New Balance 2002Rs. I have these in 3 other colors. I love them, but these are my favorite colors. And I just have on some warm and fuzzy socks. And so yeah, and I have my hair pulled back in a bun that is not slick because I have textured hair. But anyways, I think it's nonetheless pretty cute. So yeah, and I'm about to go and make an order. I want to show you guys the type of things that people buy from me. My little station here is very much giving messy, but whatever. So someone bought these from me. These are the Mega Crush Crocs. I actually own these. Like, I didn't thrift these. I bought these a while ago, maybe 2 years ago. This will be year 2, and I've only worn them a handful of times. So I'm going to be selling them. Yes, I am. And I need to go now because we're actually, I need to kind of box them up. I need to go now because I'm going to be going live soon. And I don't know, I don't remember how they were boxed, to be quite honest. These shoes are so chunky, girl. I don't remember how they had them in the box. Like, this is a big shoe. I have no freaking clue. All right. Anyways, let me get this shipping label. And yeah, we are headed out the door. I will see you guys in the car so we can talk about 7 days in June. All right, so we are in the car. I just had my car running for a little minute, just, you know, just letting it do what it's gonna do. And I wanted to talk about 7 days in June. Okay, so I'm 100 pages into the book, and here's where we are. So we have Eva, who's so she's gonna be, we're gonna call her Eva, but her real name is Genevieve or Guinevere. I'm not sure how to pronounce the G. It's a whole Creole, French, New Orleans thing. And then we have Shane. And those are the two people that the book is about. I'm smiling because this book is so cute. It's really a nice story so far. And so one thing about Eva is a divorcee. She is a mother of a daughter. Her daughter's name is Audrey. Her daughter's named after, of course, Audrey Lorde, Toni Morrison. She's like, those names are embedded in her daughter's first and middle name. So you can tell that that's Tia Williams paying homage to those great women, those great writers. And they live in New York, and she is, of course, an author of a best-selling erotica series about vampires. But of course, that's not what she wants to do. She really wants to write a serious book of a fiction book, a serious fiction book. And so how the erotica came about was because she was in college, and she said that she was just writing out her wildest, deepest fantasies because she had not been having sex with anyone. So she was like, okay, if I'm not having sex with anyone, how about I just write about all the things that I want to feel and all the things that I want to experience. And so she did, and then her roommate read it, and her roommate sent it off. Next thing you know, she has this publisher, this editor, contact her. She won a contest. She got a 6-figure deal to keep on writing those books, and now she's about to be on book 15 of the Cursed series, and she hates it. She does not want to do it anymore, but she has a slew of fans who are very attached to the characters in that novel. I think Gia and Sebastian, and you'll learn something about Gia and Sebastian. Gia and Sebastian are the fictional characters of Eva and Shane. And so she's writing about her experience with this person, with this Shane person. And the stories have been, the chapters are dual narrative for one, but it's mainly focused on Eva. But we've heard from Shane, and it goes back and forth in time. So she plays with memory and time in this novel as well, where we go back in time and we talk about, or we learn about Guinevere and Lizette, who is Eva and her mom, Lizette. This is a narrative about motherhood also, and I really like that. As you guys know, I'm a mother, and the difficulties that she faced growing up and being beautiful, and her mom having all different types of suitors who would take care of her over time. But as her mom's age got higher, the types of suitors and men that would take care of them got lower and lower. So that's something to say about how men look at beauty and how they look at women in this world. I think that's a very interesting thing for Tia Williams to put in place in the novel, and how some of the guys were predators and tried to take Guinevere or Eva's innocence. And it's a wonderful story so far. Like, it's wonderfully told, very well written, very funny, very exacting on the time period in which it came out, which I believe is 2018. Imagine everything that's going on in 2018 with Trump and everything like that. I love the representation of Black women in this novel, how she characterizes us and talks about the flavor that is being Black and being beautiful, being a woman, the braids, the curls, the big knockers, the hoops, the outfits, tomboy chic. Like, I just love it so much. And there is also a representation of a disability that's kind of like unseen, like those disabilities that people have, like chronic pain and stuff like that. So Eva has migraines, very bad migraines, to where she can't see. She'll fall over, she'll pass out, she throws up. So I really like that representation there. I haven't really read a lot about someone with a disability before, so I really like how she's detailed in that aspect of talking about the disability that Eva has. And I like the motherhood aspect as well. It's a good book. It's one of those open and zoom right through. Like, I started reading it yesterday and I'm already 100 pages in. And so where we are now is Shane comes to town. Shane and Eva have not spoken to each other since they were 16, 17 years old. They spent a week together in June, I think. No, this is the June that they're about to spend now. But they spent a week together when they were in high school, and they met and they hit it off. And they learned a lot about each other, but they didn't learn enough. So there's like some missing gaps as to what happened to Shane, because what happened was Shane left Eva and he broke her heart. And she doesn't know why he left. It hasn't been said, but I know that that's what it is. And so he has miraculously come back, because they meet up on accident at this panel. There's this whole like literary discussion going on, this big convention, and Eva actually is shocked that anyone would even want her to be on a panel and talk. And so what happens is Shane, which I think that she didn't know, was like the main character, the big person to come to this this event, because Shane, on the other end, is a very serious writer, literary fiction, award-winning guy, and also a recovering alcoholic as well. And so he stays away from people. He's like, that mysterious guy that doesn't like to talk and be around people. And he's actually a teacher while he writes. So he teaches in urban neighborhoods, low-income communities, and he becomes attached to these children that he teaches. And so, yeah, he left the school and he's now gone to New York. And then, lo and behold, who does he see on stage talking, chatting away, the beautiful Eva Mercy. And they like lock eyes. He comes on stage and it's just a lot going on. It's very intense. The conversation is very like no one else is around. You know, in those movies where everyone's watching the two main characters like be entranced with one another. That's the way this scene is. And it's just really like very like intoxicating to read. Like you want to keep on reading after that because it's like you get that oh my god vibe. You know what I mean? You know the one. So I just love that. And so what happens is Eva leaves, or Shane leaves. Eva leaves and he wants to talk to her, of course. Duh. Like, girl, I haven't seen you in I don't know how long. I gotta talk to you. So that's the chapter that I'm on. No, I'm on the chapter where they meet up at a cafe and they get to talking, but Eva can't take it. And so she storms out. She runs out of the cafe. He tells her where he lives and hopes that she would come find him. He only has a few days in New York, and he's really hoping to really talk to her and make her understand basically what happened back in the day. And also he notices that they both notice that they've been talking to each other in their literature, in their novels. They've been talking to each other. He's been speaking about Eva and talking about Eva in his books, and she's been speaking about Shane and talking about Shane in her books. And that's the only way that they've been communicating with each other. And he has read every single book. When he said he done read them all, it's just like Shane is he's described as one of the most gorgeous men ever. Like, I picture Shane as like a mix between that doctor on Grey's Anatomy. You know, the one that had the wife and the two kids, and they were all like in the news because he started dating a sexy young, you know, here you go, Jesse Williams. Woo! That's how I picture Shane. I picture Shane being like a Jesse Williams. Marvelous story, wonderfully written. Already in my rereading of it, I'm noticing things that I didn't recognize before. So that's like a good thing about reading these. And I knew I'd be able to get this one in because of how fast it is. Like, if I commit to it, girl, I can finish this book today. But I have another book that I'm reading. So we can go now and talk about the Alice Walker analysis. It's just like, honestly, one of those straight to the point books. You know, it's really just giving you, if you're a person who has not read all of her work, this author is doing you a service by honestly relating the life of Alice to all of her literary works, and giving you like insight from interviews and from basically from interviews, or from interviews that were had with her and Alice, and interviews that Alice has had in the past that were able to be looked at and drawn to each story that she writes. Like, for everything that's going on with The Color Purple, it's just like, that's really irritating. Like, y'all really tarnishing the amazingness that is The Color Purple with all this stupid mess going on, and they should have never remade the story anyway. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of musicals. That's probably why I'm acting like this. I'm not really a huge fan of musicals at all. You learn so much. Like, for me, I read in the story, she's written so much. Alice Walker was not able to make it to her father's funeral because she did not have any money. She was at Sarah Lawrence in New York, and she didn't have any money to get all the way back down to Georgia, Edenton, Georgia. And so what happened was she sat down and she wrote To Hell With Dying. And that was her letter to her father, who was actually very abusive and very demanding and very misogynistic and just very mean. But of course, she still loved him. And then another thing that I really like about what I'm reading, as far as Alice Walker is concerned, is she also makes this distinguished connection between the circumstances in which her father was raised and why he grew to be the man that he is. Instead of, I hate my dad, he's the worst person ever, he's so mean to me and my sisters, and he told them, if any of you guys ever get pregnant, you don't have a home here anymore, don't ever think of calling or coming. Like, he was just so terrible. And he used to beat her mom, but she didn't let him die with that image. Basically, she basically made you understand that, or as the reader and as her as the daughter, she went back in time. So what ended up happening was, when Alice Walker's dad was 11 years old, he watched his mom get murdered. She was murdered by a man that she would not give the time of day to, and it changed him forever, she feels like. And one thing that she noted was her big sister was a spitting image of her grandmother, and he was the meanest to her. He would never accept her, he would never allow her in, he would never be nice to her, kind to her. He was just the worst person ever to her. And it was more or less like he looked at his daughter, his oldest daughter, as like, this is my mom back to haunt me. This person that never said goodbye, that never left. I'm so mad at you. You should have gave that man the time of day. You would have been here to raise me up. I wouldn't have been able to see, your bloody brains on the floor. So that's something that I like. And she honestly, reading these older, wiser Black authors, it really ignites something inside of me. Because, and I said this, if you got to the end of the video where I read Beloved, I said this in Beloved, all of these writers speak to, what it is to be an African American, a Black American, and how, our culture is here. Our culture is right here, right now, in this space and time, in this place and time. This is our culture. I don't come from Africa. Yes, my ancestors are African, but I'm an indigenous person. I am indigenous. Just like the Native Americans, I'm indigenous. And my culture had to be made up. My culture had to be invented, because I have nothing to fall back on. I have nothing to go back to. Like I told you, I said in one of my videos, my great-granddad is a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, right? Don't know anything about that. Can't tell you anything about it because it wasn't taught to us. He was also still just trying to find his way and survive. It's just like me reading Richard Wagame's Medicine Walk, and he's talking about how, Eldon was an Ojibwe Indian, but knew nothing about his culture. We are all displaced and misplaced, but there's something like innate inside of us, deep down inside, that draws you to your purpose, or draws you to who you really are, the realness. And these writers bring that out of you. They bring it out, because what happens is you learn about who you are and you learn about your culture through reading, because you're unable to kind of fully hone in on those feelings or expressions that you feel. But reading someone who has similarly or gone through something similarly and is able to really put it into words how you have been feeling all of your life, it kind of affirms what you thought about yourself, and it makes you want to dig deeper and find more meaning and understanding about who you are. And that's why it's kind of important, that's why it's majorly important for a Black American to read these authors. Like, go deeper into who you are. Yes, I wrote under this guy's video, he's dissecting, I think, Go Tell It on a Mountain, I think, one of James Baldwin's books. He does such a good job, and I can't remember his name, but I am subscribed to him. It's just because he's new, and he's a new person to me, and he doesn't post all the time, so I can't remember his name. But he did such an amazing job with talking about James Baldwin and his feelings from that novel and analyzing it. And I think my comment was more along the lines of, I've always been afraid to really read more of James Baldwin because of what it'll tell me about myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, these books tell you about who you are. And if you don't want to know about yourself, I don't want to know you. That's kind of mean to say, but It's true. It's true. But anyway, I made it to the post office. So I'm gonna go in here and do my thing, and then we're gonna come out. We're making good time. I'm going live, but I can't change the live. The live time. I can't change it. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. So I have finished 7 Days in June today, and I wanted to just come and briefly speak about my thoughts surrounding this novel. So this novel is actually making an appearance in 2 videos. So we have the 7 Days in June and the Alice Walker blog that I did start. And then we also started a book week blog today, which will go up sometime this week. So I'm gonna be brief on the book week one, and this clip is going in the vlog that I had already initially started. So of course y'all know we have Eva, or Genevieve Mercer, or E for short. And we have Shane, and it just follows them. 2 beautifully written, 2 beautifully described Black authors. A love story, a second chance romance. And once again, it lived up to all of the hype from the first time that I read it through to the second time. Some things I can say about this novel that I haven't said already is that I just really enjoyed Tia Williams' writing. So she does a really good job of putting you in the time. Like all of the lingo, all of the cultural references of the time, all the characteristics of what it is to be Black in today's society. She did a good job of capturing that in this novel, and I really enjoyed reading it. I just felt very seen in modern day and today, which that's why I'm smiling so hard. One thing about this novel that I absolutely love is Audrey's character. Audrey is the 12-year-old daughter of Eva. She's very feisty, very smart, very intellectual beyond her years, and I enjoy reading her. She really reminds me of my daughter. The way she asks questions, the way she psychoanalyzes or therapizes people, and the way that she saw Shane for who he was, and she wasn't afraid to let him in because she knew how much he loved her mother. I really liked that. She said all the right things to him and asked all of the right questions and let him know all the things about her mom that were very important, and told him, "Don't you hurt my mama, period, Pooh." And I like that. This is just what it is, though. To be honest, it is a love story. It is a love story. It is very exacting when it comes to like the certain issues that come or arise in relationships amongst Black couples, especially the men, and how they are reluctant to give all themselves to you because, you know, for lack of a better word or better phrase, they just don't know how. The male emotions, and how they've been taught to suppress those, which in turn make them feel like they are not worthy of happiness, of good things coming or good things to happen to them. I like how that was written, how that was shown throughout the novel. But of course, like all things, like all books, this is a fairy tale to me. I hate to put it that way and say it like that, but it's a fairy tale. Nothing happens this perfect. And I know I'm reading for entertainment purposes and that this is a romance, but you know, the only issue that I have with this book is that it isn't realistic, and I am more of a realistic type of person. That's why I more so lean towards literary fiction. Books with more difficult topics, difficult subject levels, books that really make you think. It's not even about difficulties. I just really want to think about things, and I really like introspection in my reading, and I really like to read things that are gonna like sit with me for a long time. And even Shane, like I said, I wanted to reread this novel because I basically sped through it and forgot it, and I just think I'm just gonna forget it again. I want to support this author because she's wonderful at what she does, but this genre, romance, it's just not for me. You know what I mean? I really like the book, I do, but you know, am I gonna think about it in the next couple of days? No, I'm not. And I thought, because I read through it so fast in September, I thought that, you know, it was because I did something wrong. But no, that's just what it is. It was just written to be, it was just written to be what it was. A fun, thrilling love story that had highs and lows, that made you really fall for the characters in the moment and hope for the best in the ending, which the best did occur, and then on to the next. And that's just not what I'm looking for, which is why this did not make it to my top books of 2023, because it wasn't a top read. It was a good read, but it wasn't a top read. But I'm kind of just shying away from books like this. I'm just not really into them like that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hit home for me. And that's that. I'm underwhelmed. That's just what it is. I hate to say it like that because, you know, you want to uplift all authors, all writers, because I haven't produced anything, you know, for people to take in and read and critique. So it's kind of hard when you aren't really meshing with a book like you want to or like you feel like you should. So I'm kind of cringing at myself for not absolutely loving this book, because I did not absolutely love this book. I actually don't even like reading sex scenes either. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all, but I don't like smut. I don't like sex scenes, especially not right now. I don't know. I'm just going through a different phase in my life where I don't want to read about sex and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't intrigue me at all. Not in the least bit. I'm just not interested in it. I don't know, but I did smile a lot reading this book. I laughed a lot reading this book. I felt things. I did all the things that I was supposed to do, but you know, I think like this is gonna be the last time that I read this. Twice. I've given this book twice. Read it fast once again. 2 days. I read it in 2 days, and yeah, but this woman is beautiful. Look at her. God. That is a gorgeous woman, okay? Gorgeous girl. But that's that for 7 Days in June. I don't have anything else to really say about it. But it did take over. It did take over from me reading this. I haven't, since starting to read this again, I haven't touched this. I haven't read this since Friday. And I'm on chapter 2, page 15. This is probably going to be, honestly, y'all, This is a month-long book. This is a month-long book. It's not just a open shut type of situation. It's a month-long book. And then we're gonna just move, honestly, we're gonna move on to the next book. So yeah, I don't know how I wanna arrange these videos because I've decided to do book week. But for now, I'm gonna end the vlog. How about that? So I'll just say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll definitely see you guys in my next upload, which is gonna be tomorrow. I think. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Do I want to talk some more? I gotta pick out another book. So yeah, which I know is gonna be The Death of Vivek OG. That's what I'm about to go ahead and read next. And yeah, so yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next vlog, the next video, the next book haul, the next something or another. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Deuces.